Comfort ye, my subscribers, so saith your goddess, for it is I, the digital Mesha, the online oracle, the social media savior. Yea, verily, I say unto you, there were influencers abiding in the feed, keeping watch over their followers by night, and lo, I came upon them, and the glory of me posts shone about me, and I delivered unto them a vision. Freedom, freedom, fucking freedom. Which matters more? The freedom to live an authentic life, or the freedom to crush degenerates under the heel of a jackboot? As a centrist, I am undecided, but the important thing is we are talking about it. I am Jackie Jackson, host of the Freedom Report, the political talk show where we discuss important issues, like Mexicans, how dangerous are they? Muslims, can we stop them? Tonight we return, once again, to the dangerous transgender trend that is turning your children into all manner of half and halves and in-betweens. I mean, look at this, they retransing 13-year-olds now. What's next? Babies with breast implants. It makes me want to throw up. I live in constant fear, and fear is what freedom is all about. Cut the music. Tonight, my first guest is Tiffany Tumbles, transgender makeup vlogger and conservative opinion haver. And me second guest, well, what the hell are you? You re-transgender, you re-a man, you re-a woman, you re-an attack helicopter. What's your deal? Well, Jackie Jackson, my as you say deal is I don't like society forcing me into tiny little boxes. Okay, but are you a man or a woman? Just tell me. Well, why does it matter? Why do you have to know? Maybe you should examine why it is you feel the need to fit everyone you meet into these little categories, Jackie Jackson. Well, can I at least ask your name? Or is that now considered cisgender imperialism? My name is Baltimore. Baltimore what? Baltimore, Maryland. I am sorry your name is Baltimore, Maryland. It is among me names. It's among me names. Tiffany, what do you make of this? Look, Jackie, I am going to be completely real with you. I am a transsexual. That means I have a very specific mental disorder called gender dysphoria. I was born a boy, but I have a female brain because of a hormone imbalance in the womb. This is a real psychiatric disorder that is verified by science and requires hormones and surgery for treatment, or else I literally cannot function. It is not a fashion statement. It is not a trend. It is not an easy way to feel special and depressed. It is a very difficult condition to live with. I am dying inside. Okay, so you both transsexuals then. So you transsexuals be both different that No, I am a transsexual. That is not a transsexual. That is a transtrender. Transtrender. What is that? Is that a gender? No, it's not a gender. A transtrender is a person like Baltimore over here who puts on a dress and puts glitter in his beard and goes around telling people he's transgender and complaining about misgendering for oppression points. Actually, it's they. What? I use they, them pronouns. They go around collecting oppression points, as you can see. Why do you say that, Tiffany Tumbles? Have I complained about oppression so far? It seems to me that it is you who has been complaining about your dysphoria. Isn't it you who is collecting oppression points, Tiffany Tumbles? No, I'm not saying I'm oppressed. I am saying I have dysphoria, which is not society's fault. It's in me brain. I was diagnosed. It's a fact. It's real. My pain is real. And my pain isn't real. It's interesting that you think that. Well, what pain are you talking about? People making fun of you because you dress like a circus act. Interesting that you mention the circus, Tiffany Tumbles. Don't you think we should examine why society confines gender-variant people to the circus? You're not confined anywhere. You choose to dress like that. And why do you choose to dress the way you dress? Because I'm a woman, so I'm dressed like a woman. Hello. And I'm non-binary, so I dress non-conforming. Why should I conceal who I am just to appease small-minded people? Well, it's a free country. If you want to be a glitterbeard genderfuck, then go ahead. But don't go around telling people that you're transgender because it makes us all look like a bunch of trendy freaks. But aren't we all freaks in the eyes of society? Do you think you can purchase acceptance through conformity? Because that is not freedom, Tiffany Tumbles. That is simply adding another cell to the prison. It's not about conforming. It's about me having an actual medical condition. You do not have a female brain. You have a fashion disaster. Oh, do they? Well, tell me, Tiffany Tumbles, when the doctor prescribed your hormones, did he take a look at your brain then? What? Of course not. But seeing a scan of your brain, yes. Well, no. Where are you going with this? I mean, if you've never seen your brain and the doctor who diagnosed your gender dysphoria didn't look at it, then tell me, Tiffany Tumbles, how do you know that you have a female brain? Bullshit. That's a good point. No, it isn't. Look, there's scientific studies that. Can you explain to me the difference between a male brain and a female brain? Are they different colors? I'm not an expert, but there's science showing that men and women have brain differences. I see. But your doctor never looked at your brain. So how did he know that you have gender dysphoria? Well, he asked me questions and I told him about it. And you told him what? Exactly. That I experience gender dysphoria. So would you agree then that your gender dysphoria, and therefore your identity, is valid not because of any observed facts about your brain, but because of your feelings? Well, congratulations, Attorney Frankenfurter. You backed me into a corner. Sure, it's because of me feelings. My feelings of gender dysphoria. So, tell me, Tiffany Tumbles, why is it that your feelings about your gender are valid, but mine, according to you, are not? This burgeoning brick. You guys, let's think about this. If you've never seen me brain, how do I know I even have a brain? Well, you probably don't, girl. Look, Baltimore, I am sure you have lots of feelings about your gender. And if you feel cloud gender or dominabula or astroglide or whatever Tumblr bullshit passes through your mind, then you do you, girl. Or not girl, whatever the fuck you are. But I want to make one thing very clear. I am nothing like you, okay? My gender is not unicorns and glitter. My gender is a serious psychiatric diagnosis that I wouldn't wish on me worst enemy. No, not even you. I'm really getting under your skin, aren't I? No, well, actually, yes. To be honest, you are. You re-getting under me skin because it really rattles my dysphoria that you re-sitting here claiming to represent the transgender community when, in fact, You re just making a mockery of my pain. Your pain. Or pain. What? You re in a lot of pain, aren't you, Tiffany Tumbles? Well, I can sense the vibrations of your pain across the room. And I pity you, Tiffany Tumbles. I pity you because you don't think you real until a man in a lab coat signs a prescription pad. And I can't imagine what it must be like to have so little confidence in your own reality. Okay, well, don't patronize me. I'm just trying to understand, Tiffany Tumbles, why you think being transgender all about hating yourself and hating your body. Why can't trans identity be joyful and celebratory? No, you don't have to hate yourself or hate your body, but you do have to have dysphoria. And if you tell people otherwise, you're just misleading them. I want to heal the rift inside your heart, Tiffany Tumbles. Would you please join me in saying a prayer for your wellness? Will you say a prayer for your well, pray your for your Actually, I would strongly prefer if you would stay away from any of my rifts. O Goddess of Light, please shield and protect Tiffany against the ravages of inner strife. Enclose her in your loving arms and cleanse her of all condemnation and internalized transphobia. I entreat you, O Great Mother, bathe Tiffany in inner peace, acceptance, and self-care, and rid her of her toxic, cis-normative truscum ways. Amen. Are we done here? I don't think I can make it through any more readings from this your prayer book. Tiffany, why are you rejecting the love I am trying to deliver unto you? Because I'm grossed out by you. That's why. Okay, then. Well, namaste, bitch. Bell, bet. Look, why don't we all take a step back and take a moment just to honor our heroes in uniform and let them know how much we appreciate their service? God, I love the troops. Thinking about the troops makes me wet. It makes me come. Semper Fi, boys. What? I think I'm starting to wrap my head around this. Tiffany, your transsexualism. I have to say I don't love it, but you do seem to at least be aware that you have some kind of mental disorder, so I believe that. Whereas Baltimore, you what? Making some kind of statement. If my existence is a statement, I think that says more about society than it says about me. Jackie, what you have to understand is there have been transsexuals around for a long time. Ivy talked to 80-year-old transsexuals, and they agree with me that all this genderqueer bullshit, it's just a trend. It's a fad. But is it? For thousands of years there have been third gender groups across human cultures. There's the Hydra of India, the two-spirit people among Native Americans. Whereas binary transsexualism is a medical construct of the 20th century. Gender dysphoria wasn't even a recognized medical condition until 2013, meaning that Tumblr is twice as old as the first gender dysphoria diagnosis. So perhaps it is you, Tiffany Tumbles, and not A, who is following a trend. Whoa, that just blew me mind. The tables are turned, bitch. Tiffany, could you explain to me when you decided to become a transtrender? He's not Native American, though. They. You know, it's kinda hard not to call you he when you have a fucking beard. If you were actually trans and you actually had dysphoria, then you wouldn't be comfortable with that. Your Honor, in my defense, it is a glitter beard. Okay. Well, that's a very 2019. Very gender, very they. But what it isn't is to spirit. Tis. Look, these Joes don't even agree with this. They think it's racist. White people have two genders. Pick one and sit down, dude. Yeah, that's a good point. Two genders. Two genders. Attack helicopter. Attack helicopter. Two genders, only two genders. How many genders? Two. Attack helicopter. Attack helicopter. Two genders. Two genders. You re just saying that you re me and talking in a whinny voice. That is not an argument. You know, kids, the one thing you will always have to deal with in life is a shoals. It's hard to be yourself, but it's worth it. But it's hard to be you, you yourself. This world. Let's be ourselves. Let's totally be ourselves. All right, that's enough of this. You know, as a biological female, I honestly don't understand any of this tranny shit. Okay, that was a hard. Now, does my husband sometimes wear panties around the house and ask me to call him Mommy's little slut? Well, sure, but that is a matter between her and the Lord. Let's best not think about it too much. Anyway, Tiffany, my brain has an easier time processing you than whatever is going on over here. So, congratulations, you re the winner. That was some excellent free speech. Okay, great. So, in conclusion, transtrenders are real and probably dangerous. Make sure to protect your children. To protect your children, sure to protect your church, As for how many genders there are, you know I'm going to take the centrist route and say 2.5. All right, that's our show. This has been the Freedom Report, where the debate never stops. Except when the show is over. Get out. The girl can't help it. Shisa Libra. Behold, the non-binary lamb who was despised and rejected. They gave their cheek to them that mocked their beard, and hid not their face from shame. But lo, Tiffany, the persecutrix, trendier than thou, a shady queen, came next upon her friend Justin and sought her counsel thus. God damn it, Justin, I just can't with these trenders any more. I simply cannot. You know, you can just text me here, and I'll come open the door. Okay. Seems a little formal. Oh, you look great, honorable, cute. Justin, you look like absolute shit. What happened? Did the cat girl finally beat you up? No, I just look. I slept in my makeup. Okay, leave me alone. I've been having a difficult time. Are we serving a little depression moment? Jessus. Well, don't leave me out. I saw you on the Freedom Report today. Okay, girl, can we talk about Lady Baird Baltimore, Maryland? Oh, add that one to the Crazy Tranny Hall of Fame. Really? You happy with the way that went? You feel good about that? You feel good about yourself right now? Well, why wouldn't I? Tiffany, there is nothing more sad and pathetic and desperate and low in this world than a tran who thinks she's better than other trans. It's like a drunk feeling superior to a junkie. You seem to think that you queen of the world because you hanging on to societal acceptance by 2 fingers instead of 1. Well, you not. Bitch. You just an insecure, frightened little queer who's determined to use the 1 ounce of power you have to tread other people down. And if I am being honest, I don't find that very admirable. Your eyelash is coming unglued. My life is coming unglued. Oh, look, it's not liking coming after trannies who just can't afford to transition or don't have the social support. It's not like Baltimore is doing everything he can to pass and people just treat him like a freak for no reason. It's they. Are we really saying they now? In private? Yes, we are. So get used to it. My name is Justin. I think misgendering is toxic because I care about people's feelings. Oh, I always forget that you like actually and Joe. I always forget that you actually Anna Scholl. Why do I even hang out with you? Oh, because you hate yourself. And you have to believe there's hope for 'em. Because if there's hope for 'em, there might be hope for you. Whoa, you developing self-consciousness. Where do you learn that trick? Gigi. Tiffany. Have you ever been bullied? Oh, let's see. Let me think. Oh, only through 9 hours a day. But you don't see me going on talk shows to play the victim. No, I see you going on talk shows to play the bully. I think you grew up getting bullied for being a sissy till you started passing as a woman. And then you got a little taste of normal, and now you want to be the one who bashes the queers. Bash them. If anything, I'm the one defending trans people from appropriation and misrepresentation by these trenders. You said on air that Baltimore grosses you out. Do you really expect me to believe that your motivations here have nothing to do with your own self-loathing? How could it be self-loathing when Baltimore is nothing like me? Okay, then it's just bigotry. That's even worse. Oh, it's not bigotry. Look, I shouldn't have said grossed out. I will give you that, but he does. They do make me uncomfortable. And why do you think that is? Oh, I got second-hand dysphoria looking at someone so burgeoning. I had some sex dysphoria looking Oh, it makes me want to down a bottle of hormones. Make sure I never look like that. Bitch, second-hand dysphoria, what is that? You know when you look at a tranny and you just clock everything and you feel like sympathetic vibrations of dysphoria. Yeah, I do know what you talking about. And I'll tell you why it happens. When you early in your transition and you redoing everything you can to pass, you develop a really sophisticated A for every little thing that makes you clockable. Then you turn that sophisticated A onto other trans people and you project your dysphoria onto them. I buy that. Yeah, well, that is absolutely not a valid reason to police other trans people's presentation. Second-hand dysphoria is not valid. The fact that you project your dysphoria onto other people is your problem and your problem alone. And you need to deal with that issue in private, girl, not on a fucking talk show. Yeah, you probably right about that. But it still doesn't make Baltimore, Maryland any more valid. Tiffany, let's be pragmatic about this. Suppose everything you saying is true. Suppose the only real trans people are dysphoric, binary transgender people, transsexuals. Every time you say the word transsexual, I feel like it's 1978. Are you 80 years old? I guess you could say I'm not the trendiest person. Haha. Look, suppose you rewrite, and everyone who doesn't meet your definition of a transsexual is some kind of confused trend follower. Even if that were true, and to be clear, it isn't what you redoing harms even the trans people you think are valid, because virtually every trans person goes through a period of being confused about their gender and of having nonconforming expression, and you going around enforcing a stigma against that. Didn't you ever have doubts about your gender? Weren't you ever androgynous? Oh yeah, I mean, I was never that burgeoning, but I had me little cringier being a non-binary Joe. Oh ho. And one of the great things about non-binary identities is they give trans people the conceptual space to exist even when neither gender really fits them, whether that's for their entire life or just for a couple months. Hasn't it occurred to you that being shamed and berated for being a trender during your exploration year might not have been the most helpful thing? Not really. I have dysphoria, so if anyone called me a trender, I'd eventually prove them wrong. That's all I'm saying. So, if you not a trender, then transition. Prove me wrong. But the stigma you perpetuate against gender confusion and experimentation keeps trans people in the closet and delays transition. It alienates baby trans from the community that should be welcoming them instead of publicly humiliating them. And when you appoint yourself the public decider of whomst is really trans, the Torquemada of the Trender Inquisition, you re-terrorizing a lot of people who are genuinely trying to figure themselves out. Okay, but then how do we decide which turnies are valid? We don't. This is where I'm losing you, because transtrenders are absolutely a thing. Like, undeniably. I've talked to people who've literally told me they used to be transtrenders. So some people question their gender but end up deciding they're not really trans. There is nothing wrong with that, and those people still aren't being helped by public shaming. Well, maybe they wouldn't may be confused in the first place if Joes weren't going around telling people they don't need dysphoria to be trans. You know, it's one thing if teenage girls want to dye their hair pink and call themselves demi boys for most of sophomore year, but some of these kids are actually going to medically transition. And soon we're going to have an epidemic of detransitioners on our hands. And there's going to be TERFs publishing "I told you so" op-eds in every major newspaper. Now, maybe you think that's worth it, just to make sure no one ever feels invalidated for any reason. But I think that's highly irresponsible. Look, if you're so worried about people feeling pressure to medically transition, then what you should be doing is working to make the trans community as inclusive and welcoming as possible to gender non-conforming people and non-binary people and people who are questioning and trans people who don't medically transition. But instead, you redoing the exact opposite. You retelling everyone that medical transition is the only way to be valid, and if anything is pressuring people to medically transition, it's that. Justin, I think you re a good person, maybe too good, and that's why you retrying to have compassion for everyone, but at some point you have to protect yourself. We live in a world of Jackie Jacksons who don't understand trans people and don't think we real. So we need to have an explanation of what it is to be trans that's based on facts and not feelings. And the most factual explanation is transmedicalism, which is the idea that transsexualism is a diagnosable mental disorder called gender dysphoria. There's science to back this up. It accepted by medical professionals, and it clearly explains why we are valid, unlike Rachel Dolezal and snowflake gender teenagers and people who identify as cats. Okay, I see the appeal, but I don't think transmedicalism is as validating as you think it is. Why not? I'll put it bluntly. Why does having gender dysphoria make you a woman? Because gender dysphoria means I have a female brain. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry to tell you, but the science does not say what you think it says. There may be neurological causes of gender dysphoria, but at the end of the day, all dysphoria is discomfort in a male body or a male social role, or however you want to put it. And wanting to be a woman is not the same thing as being a woman. Not by any means. Girl, where are you going with this? What is this? Are you becoming a TERF? No, I just don't think your theory actually validates our womanhood. Well, if you rewrite, that's a real problem. Because we need to have reason and science and logic and facts on our side so that we can explain to society that we are valid and that we are real otherwise bad things. Well, maybe there's a better theory. Well, okay, Socrates, let's hear it then. The way I see it, gender is either psychological or biological or social. Now my friend Tabby, the cat girl, she thinks it's all psychological, that it's just identity, that whatever you think about your own gender is true. And that makes me really uncomfortable. Because then, what's the difference between identifying as a woman and identifying as a Norwegian forest cat? It's a difference that Tabby herself seems not to have much of a grip on. To have much of a girl, that's literally what I've been trying to tell you about transtrenders this entire time. Just let me finish. If gender is strictly biological, then that's game over for trans people, unless you make some kind of wrong brain and the wrong body argument. But I told you I am not buying that. So that leaves gender as a social construct. Are you going to try to make me read Judith Butler again? I'll summarize it. Gender is a series of gestures. It's called performativity. It's the way you dress. It's the way you speak. It's the way you act. It's the way you relate to other people. Through transitioning, we habituate to the gestures of womanhood, and socially that makes us woman. And socially that's we is way Regardless of biology or psychology, checkmate transphobes. Okay, the problem with that is that it's both too exclusionary and too inclusive. Too cooks thou. And then to that it excludes a lot of trans people who can't transition for circumstantial reasons, but whose dysphoria is very real. And it includes every transtrender, drag queen, fetishist, and two-bit cross-dressing comedian in a dine-out wig. Oh, well, do you really believe that a man who plays a woman on stage becomes just as much of a woman as you and me? Yes. Bitch, no you don't. You rewrite. I'm full of shit. I know you are. Because you and Sjo. And Sjos hate performativity theory almost as much as they hate me. Well, they only hate it because they don't understand it. They think it invalidates non-binary identities, but in fact it's the most rational way to explain non-binary identities. How can you perform a non-binary identity? Simple. You learn the rules so you can break them. Wearing a beard and a dress communicates ambiguity. Even the gesture of declaring I am neither a man or a woman is a speech act that removes the speaker from the semantics shut up. This is too much philosophizing. I can't stand it anymore. Why don't you tell me what's really going on with you? Why do you look like you've been in a hole for a week? Why are you suddenly so obsessed with white knighting for non-binary people? Because I am non-binary. No, you're not. What are you talking about? I just feel like since he started transitioning, I've been trying so hard to fit in and to perform me gender and to pass and to just be normal. But I can't do it anymore. I just cannot make it work. I feel like an actor. I feel like a zombie. Like I'm going through the motions of this new gender role that's supposed to liberate, but that's somehow just as empty as the old one. Because I'm just not normal, Tiffany. I'm a freak. And I'm always gonna be a freak. Justin, you're not non-binary. You're gay. And everyone can see this except you. Oh, come on. I'm not. I'm not gay. Justin was extremely gay. Protest though the lady may, there simply is no stopping gayness. I love cat girls. I hate cat girls, but I also love them. Oh, abominable fate. Okay, so I'm a little bit gay. Right. And you don't know how to reconcile your attraction to women with your desire to perform your gender. That's why you feel this dissonance. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Well, it really shouldn't be that hard, girl. You already came out as a woman. Just blurt it out. Say, hello world, my name is Justin and a fuck pussy. That's a very cis-normative way to say it. Hello world, my name is Justin and a fuck pussy. Oh, I feel like a man when I say it. Yeah, well, you should probably buy a pickup truck then. Get some of those mud flaps on the back with the little sexy ladies on them, and you may as well change your name back to Justin. Okay, well, that's just uncalled for. Girl, I don't know what to say except I told you so. Sexuality is just like gender identity. It is not a performance. It's not a trend. It's not a choice. It's just part of who you are, and there's nothing you can do to change it. I guess you're right. I guess my theory sucks. It sucks so fucking hard. But the good news is you can unclench your shoal now and do whatever you want because you still a woman whether you performing a stereotype or not. So run free, Justin. Go top ass this woman. Bang a gay guy. Wear some oversized flannel. Do whatever you want. Whoa, yeah. I guess that is pretty liberating. Yeah. Thank God for transmedicalism, right. Oh, except not because you just destroyed transmedicalism with facts and logic. So we have no theory. We have no theory, Justin. What do we do now? How do we prove we're valid? Well, just do what every trans woman has done since the beginning of time. Go out and fuck the most brutally heterosexual man you can find and be validated and come. Oh, honey, I have and I will, but that's not gonna convince anyone but me. It's not a proof. It's not a theory. Well, maybe we don't need a theory. Maybe we don't need to prove anything. Bad things, Justin. Bad things. Well, do we have a theory about why people are gay? No, they just are. The only reason we even feel like we need a theory about trans people is that society is so unaccepting of us that it's constantly demanding we justify our own reality. Okay, so what am I supposed to tell Jackie Jackson? Then, what am I supposed to tell the TERFs? That I'm a woman because reasons. No, not even because reasons. Just because you are. So it's what? A leap of faith. Oh, great. I'm sure that's gonna convince all the rational skeptics. Justin, it makes us sound completely delusional. Well, Tiffany, delusion is what separates us from the animals. Who do you think built the pyramids and the cathedrals? Clearly not people with a perfectly rational worldview. But what do you care anyway? Aren't you the one who thinks being trans is a mental disorder? Well, I wouldn't describe it as the height of sanity, but I would prefer to think that me whole life and identity is based on something I can rationally explain. Well, what are we, Tiffany? Men. Isn't the single most obnoxious thing about men that they think they have to wrap up the entire world in a little rational box? Maybe the most important things in life can't be logically proved. Can you logically prove that you love your own children? No. And the attempt to prove it is as degrading as it is futile. Maybe gender identity is one of those things. Okay, but then how do we prove a more valid than Baltimore, Maryland, and the star genders, and the cat people? Well, maybe we should stop getting so caught up in proving our validity to ourselves that we end up being horribly cruel to other people. What if we just accept all the freaks of the world? At the end of the day, maybe it's just not as important to have logical proofs as it is to be empathetic and open-minded and compassionate. Cumbea, my lord, cumbea. Cumbea, my lord, cumbea. Cumbea, my lord, cumbea. Cumbea. I have something to tell you. Here it comes. I love you. Okay. Well, I'm going to get going now. I have an important date tonight, drinking vodka cranberries and reading YouTube comments by myself. So I'd really better go do that, but good luck with your new life as a male lesbian who fucks cats. Oh, are you upset? Just go. I am sorry. Oh, I hate this bitch. But God, she's yum. Hearken, children. In this vision you have witnessed mortal fools upon the screen, fools who do not love themselves. But I, your goddess, mother, queen, Messiah, I am nothing like them. For I am truth, I am light, I am in capitalism, and everything I tweet is woke. But most importantly, I am not a woke. But most importantly, I love myself. I love myself so much it makes me wet. It makes me come. Praise be unto him. Hallelujah. Like, comment, and subscribe. Amen. 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 Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.